Hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving. Yesterday was actually Labor Day here in Japan, and yeah, but I enjoyed myself then. But yeah, hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving, and you're probably having a nice turkey. Maybe you bought it from Costco, and so that leads me into today's video, which is another installment of America versus Japan, talking about Costco. I mentioned it briefly when I talked about American food, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper, and so I'm going to go step by step, but not too long, about going into Costco, shopping at Costco, and then walking around it, and then finally we'll go to the food court. And so, getting into it, going to Costco in America, usually there's a big parking lot, and the Costco's right in the center of it, or right at the end of it, I should say, and it's a nice wide building. They do have those in Japan, but quite a few of them, they're multi-story. And so getting into them is kind of interesting because you need to go in and it's a ramp up. So the first two stories are the actual Costco. Yes, two-story Costco, but it's a 5-story building. The other 3 stories, from 3 to 5, and even the roof, are the parking lot. And so the parking lot areas are about the same, I guess, if all things considered. It's not as wide as American Costco, but I would say comparatively, it's about the same as far as like being able to park your car. What's interesting is that on the busier days in Japan, the Costco's, there's somebody outside waving people in and waving people out because the traffic, a little bit congested. So it helps to have people there to, get people moving, coming and going, especially in certain areas where there's a lot of foot traffic and car traffic. So once you get into the Costco, yeah, it's the same. You show your Costco card, and if you're wondering, can I use an American Costco card in Japan? Yes, you can actually. You just need to show it, and even when you go and when you finish, you buy your stuff, you can scan it to buy your groceries or whatever you're buying. But the thing is that if you're using an American Costco card in Japan, you have to tell them, hey, it's an American Costco. You don't have to say, hey, you have to tell them in Japanese that it's an American Costco card, so they can change it, the scanning, because it's set for the country, and then they'll scan it and show it. They'll go to international scanning, and then you can scan your card. It's the same for myself. I have a Japanese Costco card, and so when I go visit the States and I go to Costco, I can go in just fine, but when I scan it, I have to tell them it's a Japanese Costco. It's international, and then they find, oh yeah, then they look at the back. It's interesting that they do that. It's kind of cool. I've got a nice little story about that, but I'm not going to say it here. It's not important. So going in, the first thing you see is usually the electronics. It's the same in both areas. You see electronics, the smaller area for TVs and washing machines, things like that. But in America, they sell these like gigantic TVs at Costco. In Japan, the TVs are a little bit smaller, but very large as well. Especially for they're definitely for houses, people who have like a nice living room area. But the TVs are still nice. They still they have the 4K TVs on sale, and they do have like washing machines and do have an area for gift cards. Both areas the same like that. Pharmacies right there as well. And what's interesting is that I have seen, I don't remember, it's been so long since I've been like 3 years since I've been to a Costco in the States. They do have a display area in the Costco's in Japan where for like Halloween they'll have the stuff, for Christmas they'll have stuff like that, stuff to show off, Valentine's Day have stuff show off. But I'm sure in the States they would have something like that as well for like Independence Day or, maybe even St. Patrick's Day. Or maybe even Thanksgiving, even though they put the Christmas stuff a little bit early because, money. But, yeah, that's basically the same. Whereas and also the detergents, the a lot of stuff you see not in the grocery area are pretty much the same. Clothes, the toiletries, things like that, they're the same. They're also come in large sizes as well. It's just that they're caught in they're weighed in grams and kilograms instead of ounces and pounds in the States. Now, for the grocery area, for the two-story Costco's in Japan, the first floor is actually the grocery area. You can buy all the meats and stuff like that. So with that though, if you go, there's a little escalator you can put your card in as well to go down to the first floor. The thing is though, if you go downstairs, you can't go back up. It's a one way. So you have to get all your stuff in the second floor. Yeah, you enter the second floor and then go downstairs. That's the interesting thing, I think. Whereas in America, you can just go all over the place since it's just one floor. So the only thing really separated is the food court. We'll get there later. Now, as for the grocery area, there's a lot of it is the same, but there's the area the frozen area, the freezer area where you have like the fruits and stuff. That's interesting because in the States it's just they have a little freezer area you go in. In Japan, as far as I know, it's not in the States. There's a little walk around. They have a little path for people to follow in order to go through the freezer area. There's even a little thing in the center with the fruits that are on sale. Sometimes the blueberries, grapes, strawberries, whatever the season is. They'll have those in the center, and then you go around the little pallet area and you see all the other stuff that's in the freezer. It's kind of interesting. I have not seen anything like that in the States. It's just open area and just whatever, go in and go out. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Also, they do have free samples, and they are they're still good. They're still good, just like anywhere else, like in the States. I've had some good ones there. They have fruit. They've had fish. They've had the little they call them wraps, but they're burritos. Let's not BS ourselves here. They have even had little beef tongue on occasion. Here's the thing that American Costco has completely over the Japanese Costco. Because a lot of the meats and stuff are imported, especially they have an area for USDA approved beef. That stuff's expensive in Japan. And yeah, because it's domestic in the States, of course it's not going to be as expensive. So a lot of stuff in Japan is more expensive, and that's definitely a point towards the American Costco. And I think because some of the fridges, the refrigerators in Japan are not as large, especially when you're in an apartment like this, like I am, a lot of the refrigerators are like maybe half or a third fridge, not quarter, the third size fridge, and so you can't really get as much as you would at if you had a regular size American size fridge. But yeah, a lot of, also the stuff they sell alcohol and like all the the American beers like stuff they do have, but it's imports, so of course it's more expensive. Also, some of the stuff they have is they have like Korean food and spices as well. I've tried to find like certain of course they don't have taco seasoning, of course, anything for tacos they do have cheese, but of course the tortillas are just they're more expensive, and they don't have as many. But one thing I'm not seeing, they have corn, they have flour tortillas, but they don't have corn. But you have to go to a special shop for corn tortillas, which sucks. But a lot of the food is the same. Like I said, they do have more Japanese and Korean food as well to sell at the Costco's. Whereas, America, it's all American stuff. Maybe if you're in California or something like that, you might see some Mexican food that's on sale. But most of the time it's just in Japan. It's definitely a nice mix of American, Japanese, and Korean spices and foods, which is kind of cool. You know, you go to the register and the registers, they're the same. You pick a lane. That's it. You just pick a lane, and afterwards, interesting. You when you want to leave an American Costco, you go out the little gate area, you go into the food court, and then you turn, and you just go out the door, and that's it. A couple of Costco's I've been to in Japan there are 2 stories. They're interesting because if you go up the second floor or the first floor, and you go out the door, you turn right or whichever way, maybe some of them are left. That's the food court. That's the food court area. And the other side is the seating area for the food court. And not to say, the Costco's I've been to in America and the Costco's I've been to in Japan, the seating areas are comparable. They're good seating areas. They even, in Japan, there's some good seats outside as well. So in a way, in some instances, there's actually more space to sit down in Japan than there are in the States. Not only are there tables, people will sit on the little concrete dividers, and the bears, things like that. They'll sit there and they'll eat their lunch or their dinner. And yeah, in a way, there's, especially if it's a smaller Costco in America, the Costco's in Japan have more seating area to eat. But if you want to go to your car, you have to take the little stay inside the store, but go up the little escalators, and there are a couple of them that take you to the 3rd floor, and then you can take another one to whether you're the 4th, 5th, or on the roof. Or you can go out the exit, but then there's another entrance on the 1st floor. But if you go through that entrance, there's another escalator taking the 2nd floor where you have to enter the Costco. But there's also that's where the elevator is if you want to go upstairs that way to get to the parking lot. The only problem is the elevators are pretty slow. Yeah, they're pretty slow. I don't like the elevators all that much. But you can use them to go downstairs to the 1st floor, eat first, and then shop if you want. But speaking of eating, let's get to the food court. In this instance, Japan's Costco kind of kicks American Costco's ass. I gotta be honest. Alright, let's go to the menu. First of all, American Costco, you have your staples. You have hot dog, you have chicken bake, you have your pizza. Pizza, there are three types of pizzas. You have your supreme, which I've never had because onions, ugh. There's cheese and there's pepperoni. There's also coffee. There's like a latte sort of thing. There's soft serve ice cream, usually vanilla, and the smoothies, berry smoothies. And sometimes they'll have berry sundaes. I believe some places they do, but also let me see here. What else? They've had brisket, and some of them have had brisket. I read online that some of them have brisket, but I've never seen it. And they used to have nachos. They used to have where I went to. They used to have these really good ice cream bars where they would dip in chocolate and then they cover with almonds. They got rid of those probably because of people with almond allergies. And also they got rid of the Polish sausage, which people were up in arms over. I was more pissed about losing the nachos and the ice cream. But yeah, they also have I think they have salads and acai bowls. I kept calling them acai bowls, but apparently they're acai bowls. Now, let's get into the Japanese Costco, the food court. Okay, you have hot dogs, you have bulgogi bakes instead of chicken bakes. These are beef with a kind of a Korean spice called bulgogi. It tastes good, but if I eat a whole one, it kind of hurts my stomach a bit. But if I split it in half, no problem. They also have pizzas. They had usually they call them combo in Japan, which I've never had because onions. Ugh. They have cheese, and they have margarita. They have margarita pizza. But here's the interesting thing: the margarita pizza, they'll change. They'll change out the pizzas every so often. They've had a pepperoni, which is nice. They've had potato and bacon pizza. They've had mushroom pizza, which had porcini sauce instead of marinara. The potato bacon pizza had white sauce instead of marinara, and they've had Hawaiian pizza as well. That's 7 types of pizza right there, and the Hawaiian pizza was good. If you're one of the people that like, I don't like pineapples on my pizza, then you're not gonna like it. But if you're like, yeah, pineapple pizza, that's fine. As long as it's with ham, you're gonna like it. And I enjoyed it. I had it with a friend of mine. We split a Hawaiian pizza. It was great. Also, this is stuff they've had and they've rotated out every once in a while. They've had cheeseburgers. Right now they have cheeseburgers, which is kind of cool. The cheeseburgers aren't too big, but they're good, a decent size, and they taste good. They've had garden pita sandwich, which is like the vegan alternative to that. I had a couple times during Lent one year. This past Lent, I didn't taste anything. The soy patty had no taste to it. I had ketchup and mustard and maybe some relish to it to get some flavor out of it. I didn't really taste anything. You've also had pulled pork sandwiches. Those were good. They had pulled pork sandwiches. I like those sandwiches. They've recently had quinoa chicken sandwiches. Yeah, the chicken sandwich on quinoa bread, which is a lot of bread, but you know what? It was tasty. They've had what else have they had? They have had acai bowls. Right now they have falafel salads. Yeah, it's a nice sized salad with the falafel, those little like chicken meatballs. They're good. They went well together. Also, they've had chili cheese fries. I'm not kidding. They've had chili cheese fries. It was really interesting when I saw that on the menu. I was like, chili cheese fries, man? And my mind immediately went, can I get nachos next? Can I get some nachos? Just get some chips and put them in one of those little containers they put the chili cheese fries or the salads in, and pour the chili and the cheese on that. Oh, we got nachos. Come on, give me my nachos, man. And they've had, let me see, what else have they had? Acai bowls. Oh, they have soup. They've had different types of soup. They've had chicken tomato soup. They had clam chowder right now. They've had tomato shrimp bisque, and a couple of other ones. I'm trying to remember, but man, yeah, they've had some interesting soups as well. Also, they do have ice cream. They have soft serve ice cream, but they change the ice cream out every so often, just like they do with the pizzas. They've had, right now it's chestnut ice cream. Yeah, they have chestnut ice cream. They've had a ruby chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream, the chocolate banana ice cream. It's interesting. They really know how to change it up and make it fresh. They had the smoothies. Both America and Japan have smoothies, but in Japan I've seen them have grape, strawberry, mango. Let me see what else. I think pear or honey pear smoothie, apple. Yeah, citrus smoothies. Like, come on, America, Costco's food court needs to step it up. You need to step your game up. Yeah, but I do really like Costco, both in America and in Japan, and I hope you're able to, I hope you're not too hungry from hearing all this. And you know what? What's your favorite item on a Costco food court? But at the food court, what's your favorite menu item? That's what I want to know. I've had so many, man. Might be the Hawaiian pizza for me. Yeah, it might be the Hawaiian pizza for me. It's either that or maybe the pulled pork sandwich. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, so that's all I got. Next one, I'm gonna finally get around to watching Wakanda Forever, and I'll review it. So hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon.